Ninjask and Shedinja are both Pokemon that get some competitive use, but they're different in a lot of ways, and they're not that good. They both have really good uses, but all in all, if you combine them together and put them against other Pokemon in separate tiers, they're clearly lacking in a lot of places. But what we can do is compare them both, like with my old series, to see which Pokemon is better out of the pair, since they both have a lot in common. They both come from their pre-evolution Ninkada, and let's just be honest, they can both be used, but they're not really good on the same team together. So what we can do is see which one you should be picking out of these two, Ninjask or Shedinja, which is better. Well, that actually depends on the criteria because there's multiple ways a Pokemon can be used in battle. There's gimmicks, there's raw attack, there's speed, there's HP, there's like methods that they can use to be good that other Pokemon can maybe do better or worse. So if we compare them both here, we can truly see which one will perform better in battle. I'm going to be doing Ninjask first here when it comes to overall criteria and how it can be used, just because it's first in the Pokedex before Shedinja, and you get it first via how you evolve these Pokemon. Now, looking here at Ninjask's stats, you can really see where it thrives. It has amazing speed and pretty good attack. HP and its defenses and special attacks are kind of low. The HP is okay, but what you're really going to be wanting to do is to outspeed and just straight up OHKO the enemy Pokemon before they even have a chance to react. And I mean, like Sword Stance if you need, use Agility, or we can do a setup with this Pokemon like a lot of people do, use Baton Pass to switch out to a better, stronger, more bulky Pokemon to then use those incredible boosts in battle. And if your Pokemon still has good health after getting these amazing boosts, you may not need to switch out. You see good moves here like X-Scissor, which your 91 attack can easily do things with. And also, if you need, there's, well, not much else. But also, one thing you can see there is Sand Attack, which will be very good at making the enemy miss, which will be useful for you with your not so good health and your bad defenses. If they can't hit you and you set up your Swords Dance for increased attack and you hit them with a good X-Scissor or Slash, you can do monumental damage. You can make your Ninjask their number one enemy, and you can lead to their downfall if you set up correctly and play the game right. This Pokemon has so much potential to do wonders for you if you just set it up correctly and teach the Pokemon how to be good by giving it good moves. Sleeping on Ninjask and not using it could be your downfall because there's not much other Pokemon that can set up as well and then use Baton Pass to give another Pokemon good boost, or set up this well and be good on its own. Now, it has its counters like Rock-type Pokemon or Fire types and things of that nature, but if you don't come across them or if you have counters for that, you can make your Ninjask do amazing things for your team that some other Pokemon just genuinely can't do. So now that I've been doing nothing but praise Ninjask for the past, a couple minutes or so, now we're going to talk about Shedinja and things it can do, which isn't that bad, and this Pokemon may surprise you for just how it can do things. Well, for starters, we can talk about one of the main things about Shedinja, which is the fact that the only moves that can hit it are super effective moves. Its ability in the Pokemon competitive meta makes it to where, unless you hit this Pokemon with super effective damage, you cannot affect it, meaning that unless you have a move that will do good against this Pokemon's typing, it's untouchable and it can do anything to your team unless you bring a counter for it, which, you can kind of easily do without even trying to prepare for it, since this thing is a bug and ghost type and they have weaknesses that are very common in the game. But if you have a stall team, or you're in a scenario where you don't have a good fire move on hand, you can really struggle if a Shedinja is on your team unless you can somehow land a Toxic or a Will-O-Wisp to make their HP decrease naturally. Now, this would be incredibly OP, but the thing about Shedinja, look at this thing's base stat total. It is garbage. It has 1 HP. So if you do have a move that can hit it, no matter how weak or strong it is, it can kill. Its base speed is 40. It cannot outspeed almost any Pokemon. Almost all Pokemon will be faster than this thing. Its defenses wouldn't matter regardless, even if they were like max at like 200 because of its 1 HP, and its special attack is just completely garbage. You need to be using physical attacks, otherwise your Shedinja will never hit anything hard. You need a good attacking move on your Shedinja if you want to do things to the enemy Pokemon before they pull out a super effective move to absolutely murder you. This means you need to be careful because unless you outspeed, which is unlikely, or you have a good move on you that is a physical attack because its special attack is terrible, you can just lose this Pokemon in one turn because you won't outspeed, you're slow as bricks, and you have 1 HP. Regardless of your defense, you will get knocked out. So unless you know what you're doing, that 90 attack, which is its only good stat, will mean nothing. Your Pokemon will die. And this is the moves given to you. And by the way, there's only 2 good ones. Now, I'm not counting HMs or TMs on this list when I compare these Pokemon because the only thing I care about is how the Pokemon is on its own. And I gotta say, Shedinja has only 2 moves that I think to be good. Confuse Ray, which will obviously confuse the opponent, which is pretty alright, and Phantom Force. Phantom Force has a 90 base power and is 100% accurate. This move will be beneficial to no end for your Shedinja because it is strong and will always hit, and it's a physical move, which means that your 90 attack, your only good stat, can be used. So you can sweep through teams with good attacking moves with a good base attack as long as they can't hit you, which thanks to its ability, not much moves can. Stuff like this is what makes these Pokemon so different, even though they both come from the same Pokemon. Shedinja is definitely a physical attacker that can do well with good setup and its overall stats. While with Shedinja, unless you're absolutely careful or if you make one single mistake, any move at all, regardless of what you do, can and will mean death because you have 1 HP, 2 good moves, and only 1 good stat, but a crazy, absolutely awesome ability. But when it comes down to it, there's only one clear winner, and it's kind of obvious, but not maybe. For example, let's compare these real quick. Now, remember, before I do this, you need to know this is just my opinion. You can always pick one or the other when you're battling, but this is my analysis, and this is just how I'm going to rate them. Now, let's go over them real quick. Ninjask. Pretty good all-around stats when you consider the 2 major things, its attack and its great speed. You can set up and then switch out to give another stronger, bulkier Pokemon amazing stats, or you can sweep through with it, saving a turn, not having Baton Pass, maybe use a Sand Attack here and there, and then sweep things with X-Scissor as long as you're careful. While with Shedinja, unless you're using Phantom Force or Confuse Ray and you're not being careful, that's really all it can do. Now, when it comes to design, which isn't really gonna do much for competitive, I guess you can go either way. I still think that Shedinja looks really cool, but Ninjask overall does things way better. Ninjask has better moves, Ninjask has better moveset, and Shedinja can do things that I guess a Ninjask couldn't do, but there's only one clear winner here, and let's just get on to it. That winner is Ninjask. This thing has better moves, and what it can do is you can use Sword Stance, Agility, and Baton Pass, or you can switch Baton Pass with Sand Attack, make it to where they can't hit you and you're hitting them with a powered up X-Scissor because you had Sword Stance. This Pokemon can do things that Shedinja just can't do, and let's be honest, Shedinja, it's really not going to be doing much. I'm sorry, but Ninjask is better. Now, if you disagree, it's fine. Just tell me in the comments, state your case, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the video.